Up next, we have two panelists, Suwon and Damian Ko. Can we invite them on stage, please? Hey, guys.
Hello.
A bigger round of applause for them, please. Are we nice and comfortable?
Very good.
All right, can I get you guys to introduce yourselves? So which company are you from and what part do you play within the company?
Okay, so I'm Soon. I'm from Lazada, and what I worked on is our Lazada in-app live stream platform called Last Live. So on Last Live, that's where we produce like different live stream shows for our official account, firstly, and also looking after like the live stream shows from the seller's account. So my role is the regional live stream content lead, where I work very closely with the 6 countries to come up with like the live stream strategy, how we can utilize our platform to kind of bridge the relationship between brands and consumers as well, to give them an overall more elevated experience during their shopping process.
So not just a simple live stream, right?
Yeah, it's something to, you know, really let you know more about what you're shopping for, to let you take away insights that you never know about. Yeah, it's really bringing that whole shopping experience up another notch. Yeah.
All right. Damien?
My name is Damian. I'm from Philips Domestic Appliances, and I look across the marketing campaigns throughout the portfolio for air fryers, garment care, etc.
Air fryers. Can I
Yes,
just
air fryers.
can I confess my personal air fryer has been going for at least 8 years now. At least. I love my, okay, anyway, sure. Because we're talking about the power of storytelling through creators in your integrated influencer marketing strategies today. Now, I'm curious because I know that you guys have a lot of experience in this industry, and through your years being growing with your industries, are there any stories that you would like to share with us, specifically in terms of how do we make use of live streaming to launch a successful campaign? Suwon or Damien?
So what I've understood over the past 10 years or so is, I think first of all, you need to ask yourself the why and the what. Because then it will help you define what you determine as the business, the media, or the content roles. So within this ecosystem, the campaign ecosystem, live streaming is one of the key channels to drive commerce, for sure. However, there are also other channels within the campaign ecosystem that will also drive traffic into the live stream or the platform that you're running live stream on. So we ask ourselves the questions of why and what, because then it determines who are the creators that you engage for the live stream? How do you plan the live stream? What do you do before, during, after? And then the media that comes with it, the content that comes out of it, it all has to be packaged together as an integrated campaign. I think that's where the challenge really is, to see not just the activation on one channel, but how this particular activation fits into the larger ecosystem that drives what you want to do for the business.
Definitely. And Suwon?
I think what I can add on will be maybe more focused on like how live stream can actually give you that added experience that you may not get from other platforms, for example. Because I think for live stream, the key thing is that it's really interactive. It is a two-way kind of interaction rather than passive viewing, which is more commonly seen on other social media platforms. So for example, I think one of our campaigns, one of our projects last year during World Cup, we actually produced a series called Last Cup in Vietnam. So that was when viewers, when they tune in to watch the World Cup on TV, they can actually have a second screen experience on their phone. So they tune into Last Live to then see, like we engaged influencers to engage them throughout the whole game, and then they do like live commentary based on what's happening on the match right now. And also on top of that, we also have like fun engagement using our engagement features that are based on like real happenings on the match, on the current match that's happening. So for example, if let's say there's a goal being scored, or if let's say there's a yellow card, then we will flash out like, vouchers to give away or like voucher codes. So we make the whole live stream experience even more more engaging and more fun. And it's also ultimately, it will also benefit these viewers, our Last Live users, right, when they shop for their products on Lazada. Yeah.
It sounds like it's a very integrated experience. Have you ever tried with other events as well, aside from the World Cup? Maybe any others?
Other real life events, maybe no, but for all our other like live stream shows that we produced, we also want to bring across a very authentic experience as well. So using our own like engagement features as well, that's something that we have something like called a voucher rain. So so it will then help to string the whole content together to make it more engaging for viewers to tune in. They have a part to play in the whole show as well. So we do have that kind of like live engagement to keep them, on the show.
For Damian,
For me, I think I would just want to add on to one of the points that she said about being authentic. I think if we boil it down to two words, to entertain and to engage, I think those are really key ingredients of what will be a successful live stream, in addition to all the preparation work that needs to be done, like I mentioned earlier, in terms of the pre, during, and the post. I mean, anyone with a phone these days can just set up a live stream. But what really makes it successful is actually quite a bit of planning that goes behind the scenes. And other considerations, how often do you do the live stream? How long is each live stream? What do you communicate during the live stream itself? Those are all things that needs to be at least thought about beforehand. Right? So
I just want to ask as well, because I understand that you spent time in Korea. Now we all know that Korea has a very strong live streaming community. In fact, mukbangs were very popular back then. Can you tell us a little bit about perhaps your experience working in Korea with the Korean live streaming industry versus what you see here in Singapore? What are the differences, perhaps?
I guess one of the key differences that I noticed between Korea and Singapore, so when I was living in Korea, and I was living in Gangnam, which is I guess a very famous street, like shopping, lots of night sports, lots of restaurants, and just on any night, perhaps every night, you see this vloggers, so which we'll call them. They will just be walking along the street and just talking to their viewers online. So when I moved there about 12, 13 years ago, I was like, that was the size. Like, oh, how do these people do this, right? They were just carrying a selfie stick with a phone on the hand, and they were just streaming. So about what they do that is different, I think they are a lot more open to try new things. The content that they deliver or they produce is also very different. So mukbang is one of the classic examples, which baffles me to this day. How can this person eat so much and remain
So slim.
so slim? So, but when you look into it further, there's actually, I mean, these guys or ladies, they don't just eat.
Yeah.
They do have a very healthy regime behind what they do in front of the screen. So the content type, mukbang, and there are quite a lot of other content categories. Some they go to haunted houses, they go to places where you usually wouldn't go. So I guess the main difference I see is really the type of content that they do, and how they treat the, how do I say, the post-production side of things, the captions they use, the typography they use, how the message is brought across, not just from the live streamer himself, but also the additional effects, be it the sound effects, be it the visual effects that comes along with it, that complete the entire experience of the live stream.
Production
Yes.
value of
Yeah.
it. So that's versus in Singapore, where perhaps.
For me, it's, I guess the language was also played quite a bit of difference for me, because I'm not fluent in Korean, but how certain concepts are brought across is different simply because of the language that is used. Right? I speak English and I speak Korean, but if you say the same thing, put it in a different cultural context, the message that the viewer gets is also perceived slightly differently.
Yeah.
So for me, what I experienced in Korea is a lot more comical in a sense, a lot more, you're just like, why is this person doing this?
Yeah.
So you start to question yourself, what's happening? Why? And they're not afraid to make fun of themselves. And that's really where the entertainment value comes in. And then eventually when you look at it, that's more engaging in a sense. So yeah.
Right. So let's say, so we've talked about Korea now and versus Singapore. What about the other regions that you handle soon?
Well, across the regions, yes, the content does differ quite a bit based on what the local markets are like. So especially, I think, in Thailand, where fandom is huge. So yeah, so they do work a lot closer with like those boiler couples, for example, like KOLs. And these KOLs really, you can see how they have a huge influence over the users or the fans that tune in to watch the show. So that's something that I think across all the markets, it's something that really stood out. Whereas I think for Singapore, maybe our users are a little bit more different. We are kind of more focused on what I can get out of this live stream content. For example, what is the added experience or what is the incentive I can get? So it's, the focus across these markets do differ quite a bit. And yeah, and I think that's very interesting as well when we come up with something that we hope can see, grow in all 6 countries, but how can they also grow locally in terms of what their market is like?
So it sounds to me like when we are crafting a specific live stream campaign, we have to customize for every single market because naturally every single market wants something different. So now I'm going to ask a slightly more personal question. Do you guys have any personal favorite live streamers that you guys watch, perhaps, or that you guys have taken notice of in recent years, perhaps? You both have one. Let's go.
Live streamer, not anyone in particular. But I do follow a YouTuber. He's Korean. He's a photographer. He's into photography. I mean, he does live streams once in a while as well. So I think for me, because one of my passions is in photography, so I follow him. Whenever he uploads a video, I look at it. Whenever he has a live stream, I get a ping on the phone and then just go watch it. So through that, I think I also learned quite a bit about framing techniques, post-production. So what I get out of it from following this creator is really how do I find better ways to do the things that I like to do right now. So for me, that's the payoff that of following a live streamer or a vlogger in that sense.
All right. Soon?
Well, I'm just going to maybe use some examples that I personally really like as well, not just because I'm from Lazada. So we work very closely with some of our local influencers. And because last year we worked on this series that's actually ongoing as well. Right now it's called DIY Like a Pro, where it's every week we do a live session based on a specific category or a passion point for our users. So actually we work with like a bunch of like this influencers, right? They throughout the whole producing process, because of how we work together, we discuss. I also got to know, actually, based on our normal producing, they can give us more, tips that we do not know about, more insights on how we can even structure the whole content to be like. So I think working that closely with them as a producer and also looking at the outcome itself, I can see how they are really very good at what they do, and that's how they can also engage our live viewers as well by bringing across that kind of additional tips that they can share during our live shows. Yeah.
So these creators that you're talking about, are they local creators or are they like regional creators?
The ones that, they're local. So it is the DIY Like a Pro. It is specifically for Singapore market. Yeah.
Okay, so what are some of you mentioned like from a producer's perspective, and actually just now Damian actually mentioned something about the production aspect of things, how in Korea they add like different graphics and stuff like that. From Lazada, for Lazada, what were some of the producing focused areas that you managed to get tips perhaps from your creators?
So some of the tips that we managed to get from them. For example, in DIY Like a Pro, where we focus on one theme, it could be, and one category every week. So it could be like a beauty tutorial this week, creating a, maybe below $50 fashion look, for example. So it's during these processes where we then work very closely with these beauty fashion influencers to know what's trending at the moment, how to create it within a very short amount of time. And I think one example also was with Drea. So we engaged her to do like a home and decor episode. So she actually shared a very interesting tip that we did not know as well. So she mentioned, when shortlisting your stuff on Lazada, so when you look at like your shopping cart, it is actually like your mood board. That's where you can actually use that as a mood board to then see, what's your eventual look. So this is something that we don't know, it doesn't occur to us. Yeah. So I think it's really something very interesting that it can only get sparked when we, converse and discuss on how we can get the content going.
So it sounds like we can also kind of learn about trends in a sense from creators, right? Damian, because your background is also in journalism as well. And some people have said that you've always got your pulse. You got your finger on the pulse of trends. What do you, in your opinion, foresee is the future or perhaps the upcoming trend in specifically the storytelling aspect?
I think what I see is gradually over the next 5 to 10 years, the creator, or we call it the creator economy, will continue to be around. However, what's more important is how the brands will gradually move from a transactional relationship to a value-based relationship. And why I say that is really because from a brand perspective, what we want to do is to build a culture of, build the brand ambassadorship, I would say. And it's not just, hey, I engage you for this campaign, I pay you X amount of dollars, you create this content for me. How can we grow together as a creator, as a brand? What is a win-win situation for us? So in that context, we look at brands and we look at creators. Like what Ashi was saying just now, like we can learn a lot from creators themselves. From a brand perspective, okay, I have this product that I want to sell. These are my 3 key value propositions. And I'll produce content based on a very polished content perhaps. However, when I give the same type of brief or to work or engage with a creator, they will come up with 10s or 20s of like ideas of how to approach the same topic in a different lens or different view. And that's where I think we as a brand, we learn a lot from creators. At the end of the day, the end consumers benefit because they are not just hearing from the brand themselves, they're hearing from their friends of friends. Yeah. Friends of friends of friends, or second, third degree of our relationships. I think that's where it really becomes a win-win for both the brand and for the creator themselves in the context of a larger marketing campaign.
Yeah, it sounds to me like at the end of the day, from the perspective of a brand perhaps, and of the influencer, it's really about building a relationship that's based on trust. Yeah, if we can trust our influencers to come up with stories that are in line with what we want to present, then we can of course kind of perhaps let go of that control and allow our influencers to do their thing. This has been an awesome sharing. Thank you so much, Suwon. Thank you so much, Damian. Thank you.
Thank you.